I'd like to call the Bluff City Board of Mayor and Alderman regular meeting Tuesday, August the 6th, 2019, 6 p.m. to order. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Key.
Here.
Alderman Rawls.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Here.
Alderman Ward.
Here.
Alderman Bowling.
Here.
And the next thing on the agenda is a prayer for Vice Mayor Ray Harrington, immediately following the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you now for this meeting for the town of Bluff City.
Yes.
We ask that all the decisions that are made in this meeting be for the best of the town and its citizens.
Yes, Lord.
We thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're down to the first session of the citizens' comments. Come to the podium, give your name, address, and phone number. If we don't have any comments, we'll move on to discussion and action for the regular meeting of the minutes for June the 4th, 2019.
Make a motion to approve June the 4th minutes.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Rawls.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Ward.
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
We have open the public hearing on ordinance number 2019.
We got 2 more minutes.
Oh, gosh, sorry. Regular meeting minutes of July the 2nd.
I'll make a motion to approve July 2nd's minutes.
Second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Rawls.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Ward.
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
And the next one is special call meeting minutes of July the 23rd.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second, but they need to be added online. It was brought to our attention they wasn't online.
That's exactly right.
They've already done it.
No, I just checked it 5 minutes
you
ago.
did?
These?
Yeah,
Don't know.
July
Don't put them on
23rd
until
approved.
They don't until they're approved.
Until they're approved.
Tonight's minutes are on it.
I
The
know,
agenda,
but
the
they haven't
agenda,
been
the agenda.
approved.
The agenda's not on there. The agenda. I meant the agenda.
He sent the message back that it was online.
I checked 5 minutes ago.
He did. I had forgotten that he did. He sent a message back saying they were on the agenda.
Right there they are. It's not on there.
July the 23rd. Okay, we'll get back with him to make sure that it's on
I
there.
looked for it before I left the office.
Did you? Okay, thank all of you.
Alderwoman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Rawls.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Ward.
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay. We'll open the public hearing on ordinance number 2019-004. Mr. Fry.
This is the appropriation ordinance for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. Be it therefore ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee, there is hereby appropriated for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020, following sums of money set aside for the departments and purposes specified herein. General Fund, $1,627,305. Water and Sewer, $895,752. Sanitation Fund, $109,000. Debt Service Fund, $109,100. Special Police Drug Fund, $5,360. This ordinance shall take effect from and after its final passage of public welfare requiring it.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Your public hearing.
Good.
Oh, that's right. You got
Oh,
that
I'm
public
sorry.
hearing. I'm sorry.
Does anyone have a comment on this ordinance number 2019-004 appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year ending June the 30th, 2020? If no comments. Does anyone have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Boyles,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
We'll open the public hearing on ordinance number 2019-005. Mr. Fry.
An ordinance to provide for the general revenue of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee for fiscal year 2019-2020 to be known as a real and personal property tax levy ordinance for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. Be it therefore ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee, there's hereby levied on all taxable real, personal, and mixed property located within the municipal boundaries of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee for fiscal year 2019-2020 an ad valorem tax of $1.28 for each $100 of assessed value. Taxes shall be due and payable on or before May 1, 2020. The amount of penalty and interest is the same as that applicable to county property taxes as set out in the tax statutes of the state of Tennessee. The purpose of this tax levy ordinance is to provide funding for the appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2019-2020, number 2019-004. This ordinance, commonly known as a tax levy ordinance for fiscal year 2019-2020, shall take effect from and after its final passage of public welfare requiring it.
Does anyone have any comments on this ordinance? If not, we'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance.
I second that motion.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Boyles,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Well, the next thing on the agenda is discussion/action on resolution number 2019-006, a resolution authorizing the town of Bluff City to participate in the Public Entity Partners Safety Partnerships Matching Grant. Mr. Fry.
Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee, that the town of Bluff City is hereby authorized to submit applications for Safety Partners Matching Grant through public entity partners. That the town of Bluff City is further authorized to provide a matched sum to serve as a match for any monies provided by this grant. That this resolution shall become effective from and after its final passage of public welfare requiring.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve, Mayor.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Boyles,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
The next thing on the agenda is report from the mayor. I
Talk to the ladder, Mayor.
I would like for each of you to know that we have 3 citizens that qualify to be qualified to be considered for the home consortium rehab loan. One has she thinks that she's going to decide not to participate. But they're going through everything, and we have quite a bit of money, but they'll have to decide on if we're going to be able to utilize 2 different citizens or only one. So we should find out something about that before long. And then I would like you to know that the update on the red light at the Piney Flats Industrial Park, it should have been done by now, but the state keeps postponing it. The money is still there. There's not any problem with the money, but they've changed it now until the turn-in date of 4/15/20 and a June 20th letting. of the contract. So hopefully it will be completed around the first part of the middle part of June of 2020. And then I did want to mention one thing about the budget. Once the budget, which we just finished voting on the budget, and that was the public hearing and the final reading. So I'd just like for you to know that the things that are in the budget don't go into effect until 10 days after approval. So, so if there's anything that you have any questions about that part, I should have mentioned it before, but they will not go into effect for 10 days after. And nothing goes back, and it has to be passed before you can go back and say that something has passed, and you don't want to think about it going back to go into effect. It just does not go into effect till the 10 days is up. So basically that's all I have. We have a report from the city attorney.
I don't have a report this evening, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Report from the city recorder, CMFO, Sharon Green.
Fund balances as of June 30th, 2019. General fund, $1,550,686. Sanitation fund, $35,745. Special police fund, $13,886. Debt service fund, $109,143. Sinking fund, $3,095. Water and sewer fund, $666,147. Total fund balance, $2,378,702.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll make a motion to approve financial report.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Walls,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Thank you. We have a comment from the board members. Alderwoman Carol Keys.
Hello, everybody. I often say be patient with me. I'm still learning, and I just want everyone to know that I stand for what is right. I will stand up, speak and speak out. I want everybody treated fairly, including me and my family. And I'd like to take this opportunity to, on behalf of the Wells family, there was an officer there, and Mayor, they wanted you all to know, I think it's Copton or something like that. I'm sorry?
He's here.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, there he is. Okay, the Wells family wanted Mayor, you to know, and the board members, that when his mother passed away, he went above and beyond to make sure the family was okay and just trying to be comforting. And I just want to say thank you. And you know me, I believe in keeping it straight, and I'm going through some things which I will talk about at a later date, but I want to thank the mayor for stepping up and trying to make sure things are done decent and in order and right. So I want to say thank you on behalf of me and my family.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for being here. If you need me, I'm just a phone call away.
Okay.
God bless you.
Alderman Jeff Broyles.
Good evening, town family. First of all, I want to thank you for your thoughts and prayers while Beck and I went through a very rough month of almost losing my mother and daughter. And I haven't been as active as I would like to be, but now the Lord has granted them both recovery.
Amen.
So it's time to move forward. I was fortunate enough to attend just a few days ago an MTAS planning and zoning training. I really enjoyed, and I see the chairwoman is sitting out there with us today. And I do plan on attending the MTAS Elected Officials Academy on the 23rd and 24th of this month to try to broaden my education. I'd invite all the rest of the board members if they're welcome to go. It's in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and I think it'd be worth our trip to go down. And then finally, I've planned on attending a very nice utilities workshop in October. Finally, like I say, the Lord has put legs back under us again, so we'll begin to move forward on a lot of those projects that I spoke about last month. And I appreciate your patience with me. I'm at your service and at your call at any time. God bless you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, Alderman Jeff, Vice Mayor Ray Harrington.
Appreciate everybody coming out. Glad to see a lot of new faces here, a few of them we hadn't seen in a while. Thank you. We're moving forward one step at a time. Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Eric Ward.
Thanks everybody for coming out and just watch the school go. School zones. The little kids are back in school now, so we need to take care and watch out for them.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Alderman Richard Bowen.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out too, and it's just it's been so hot that people hardly can't get out and do anything, but try to stay cool, and we love you, all of you.
Okay. We're down to the reports from the city officials and county commissioners. Chief of Police Greg Depew.
Good evening, Mayor and Board.
Good evening.
For the month of July, we answered a total of 154 calls. We issued 50 citations, 18 warnings, patrolled 3,906 miles, had 3 arrests, 7 offense reports, had 19 alarms, 7 accidents, 4 animal complaints, and 16 MSDs, 2 domestic calls, 1 drug arrest. Just an update, we do have 3 in the academy, and they will be out in about 5 weeks. So that will be good. And we got Deputy Chief Dunbar back, and that's a great thing. And the other guy we hired is certified 10-8. He's doing really good, so we're gradually, slowly getting back on our feet. So thanks to everybody, and thanks for the budget. I know all the guys are really appreciative of everything, and we thank you guys for that. That's all I have.
You've done a good job.
Thank
Greg.
you for everything.
Thanks.
Happy birthday. Today's his birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, down to Public Works Supervisor Alan Moultrie.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. How are you all doing? All right, in the sewer department, the sewer pump stations are operating well with there being no issues regarding overflows in the month of July. During the month, we did get the high well level alarm at the Igloo pump station, but those events did not prompt an overflow or anything of that nature. Also, the staff has been continuing flushing sewer lines throughout our system, so our system is improving. We still got a lot of work that needs to get done, but we're headed in the right direction when it comes to that. As in the street department, the staff has been working hard keeping up with the mowing and brush pickup throughout town. We are at the point where we are finished replacing boards at the Pavilion Boardwalk, which will be restained in the coming months once the wood has cured. Also, we did get to replace that woman's bathroom door that ended up getting busted up a little bit, so that all has been done. We will probably proceed to paint that door the same color as the other doors, but that has yet to been done, but it is going to get done. Other than that, in the sewer department and streets department, I have no more. But if you all have any questions, suggestions, anything, I'm open to.
I have 2, Alan, if you wouldn't mind. The request to be recognized, Mayor. What's the average static water pressure in town?
Those static water pressure around town, I'll say it's somewhere around 45 psi.
Good. And how many? What's the average of gallons we're producing at the plant?
At the plant right now, I would have to give that question to our water plant operator.
Well, I know you guys have made some improvements. I just want to brag on you.
Like I said,
Continue on.
I will yield that question to our.
I would have killed for 45 pounds static pressure when I was you.
So, but things have improved. Speaking of the water plant, we have been running all throughout the month of July. We were down a total of 3 days in the month of July, and other than that, we haven't had any other issues. Other than that, all our sampling and testing have been done on time, and we have been passing those. So everything is actually, tank's been full. We do got a few small little leaks here and there, and we are working on that along with a couple water taps that need to be installed on Labrador Way, and Labrador is another thing that we'll have to get to. But other than that, we've actually things actually been looking good. I'm staying positive. We are in the process. We do have some metering issues that we're currently working on right now, and that will get addressed in the coming days. But other than that, everything's been good. If you all have any further questions, I'll try to indulge in them.
Well, I have one, if you don't mind. I don't know if this would fall into new business, but I've been getting a lot of calls. And Mayor, I apologize. I don't know the answers, and I'll send them to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But one of my questions is, some of the citizens, I think the water got shut off or something. Do we have a hotline or something, or is there anything where, per se you got home from work and you didn't have any water? Is there a hotline that you can maybe pay your bill and get your water turned on?
Actually, we don't. I mean, you can call our garage line. That'll basically get you the city workers that's on call at that current moment. But as in an actual hotline to get your water turned on, if you don't have that bill paid by 4:30, there's pretty much nothing we can do until 8 o'clock that following morning. So I would have to.
So the answer to that question would be you have to wait until business hours, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, great job, Alan. Thank you. Thanks for a good explanation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, we're down to old business. Does anybody have any old business?
Suffolk County Commission. If you
Oh,
want.
I am so sorry. I thought y'all wouldn't want to talk anyway.
Just one. We want to apologize too for not being here the last couple of months. We've been working on some budgets and trying to get things straightened out for the county and moving forward with all that. Being said, I'd like to start off by congratulating the new elected alderman of the Bluff City, Ms. Keith, Jeff, and Eric. Congratulations to you guys. Campaign's tough, I know, but you guys, good seeings. First of all, I'd like to present you with the commission calendar. We did have a meeting tonight. It was postponed. If you look at August 8th on Thursday night at 6 o'clock, we'll have our work session. Invite each of you to come by, sit through with us, ideals, opportunity to speak if you would. And then on the 15th, we'll have our regular meeting. Starts at 6 o'clock. We'd love to have each and every one of you come and speak with us and give us your ideals. Moving on from the calendar, I'd like to talk to you about the resolution that we put in a couple months ago. EMS Director Gary Mays approached us about 4 or 5 months ago, and he explained to us that the county was going to have to replace all the heart monitors on the EMS vehicles. And the last time they was replaced was about 12 years ago, and this is a mandate more or less by the federal government that these has to be replaced and brought up to speed with and correspond with our hospitals. So when we kind of got to discussing this, I asked Gary who the supplier was the last time of these monitors, and it was Wilmot Health. And they stepped up, and I think they paid for the biggest part of them last time when we had to go down that road. But this time, we were in a little different situation. When we found out that we had to replace 12 this year and 12 next year, the expense was about $40,000 a piece, which was going to add about $1.2 million in revenue that we were going to have to come up with. So what we did, we made a couple of phone calls, and we set up a meeting with Ballard Health and Alan Levine, and we went in and presented him with the information and talked to him about what we needed. And he was very helpful. He said, we'll get back to you in a few weeks and let you know what we can do. Well, Alan and Ballard Health stepped up to the plate, and they're going to find these monitors for Sullivan County. And this resolution was done back in June, and we accepted their help with these monitors. They're going to do 15 for us this year and 15 for us next year. And the reason we went with 30 is to give us 2 extra monitors in each zone. There'll be 2 extra in Kingsport, 2 extra in the Bristol area, and 2 extra in Sullivan County. And if you'll just look at the book that I brought you there, this kind of touch base on this monitor. This monitor is the most advanced piece of technology I think I've ever seen. It's called the Tempest Pro. And what's going to make it so good for us in the rural areas is as soon as the EMS technician arrives or first responders arrive and you're hooked up to this monitor, that information starts at that time corresponding with the hospital that you want to go, if it's Bristol or Kingsport or Johnson City. Your loved one or you tell the EMS personnel, and that starts corresponding at that time. Whether it's a heart attack or a stroke or any type of medical issue, that information starts being transmitted at that time to that hospital. So if you have a blockage or if you have a light stroke, when you get transported from your home or the accident to the nearest hospital that you choose, all that information has already been transmitted to there. So you bypass the emergency room, you bypass all the other test procedures, and they take you right into the cath lab or stroke center. And this machine is so advanced that they can even do a kind of like a echogram or a I can't picture the word for that right now, but ultrasound on you and transfer that onto the hospital. If you've got a doctor that you've had over years and that doctor's on vacation, anywhere in the world, if that doctor has got cell phone service, he can get the same test data or the same information from this Tempest Pro. So he can tell the hospital, hey, that's my patient. This is the history that we've got with him. This is what I'd like for you to do and how I'd like for you to move forward. And I will tell you, the closest place around that's got these, like I said, these are the best in the world. And if you'll look through your packet, the military uses these, is Cincinnati. And these will be cleared probably the last of September. FDA and so forth has to clear these. And Sullivan County will have them in hand hopefully by the 1st of December. And it will be a really life-saving piece of equipment for all of us to have. Because like I said, the closer you live to the city, they get you to the hospital faster. All of our rural people that's out in the county, this is going to be a big benefit for all of us. And I would really want to thank Ballot Health for stepping up and helping us with these. And if they hadn't have, it would have been a 4.5% property tax increase on every Sullivan County resident that owns property. That's what we'd have had to do to pay for these. So really want to thank them and for them stepping up. I'd like to talk to you just a minute about the jail. The two commissioners that supported us on this was Commissioner King and Commissioner Crosswhite. They really helped on this. Ms. Crosswhite's past experience with the healthcare business and so forth was a help. Of course, Commissioner King, and really want to thank him. The jail update, I'd like to talk to you a minute about that. Can't really tell you a whole lot other than we've turned all the information over to the firm that's going to give us proposals. Hopefully we'll hear something in November or December. And we're shooting for 3 different proposals. Hopefully a justice center, building on or remodeling, doing some changes. This past weekend, the jail was over 1,000 people. Had 1,008 or 1,009 in there. And it's supposed to hold 620. So you guys can kind of see where we're at. I'd like to have y'all's input on this, if you would. In my opinion, a justice center in Bluffville would be extremely nice, and combine all of our courts under one facility. Bring Kingsport Court to Bluffville, Bristol Court to Bluffville. That way we're going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year transporting these prisoners up and down the road. So you'd have all your judges, all your courts, and all under one roof top in Bluffville. And that would save us tremendous amount of money. Now, that's kind of what I'd like to see, and hopefully that's what they'll come back. Of course, it's going to be costly, but I think in the long run, it's better than putting a Band-Aid on the problem. Because I will tell you, if the federal government steps in, if we don't do something, they will. and then they'll build it to their specifications, and they'll send us a bill for it. The other thing I'd like to talk to you about is the new EMS station in Bluff City. I don't know if you have heard about that, but there'll be a new EMS station built over on 11E, right in behind the Shell station. The current location is at Cole's, where they sell the forklifts in behind on 11E. Mr. Cole had a facility there with some rental buildings. We've been renting that building for about 17 or 18 years at $1,650 a month. So you can imagine what the county has paid out for that. This facility is going to be built on that piece of property, and they'll have one of these Tempest Pros on hand, and greater response time for the Bluff City people, the flea market area, and this area. That's already been took care of. Be no tax increase with the county residents. How we done that? In the past, there was a penny added in the EMS budget for replacement of ambulance trucks and so forth. So what we done, we okayed the EMS to use that penny forward to construct 4 new buildings. And hopefully the first building will be there on that location. It's going to be, I think, a 2-bay station. And, these folks are putting their life on the line for us, going out, working wrecks, see tragedies every day. They need a nice place to come back to and rest, and that's kind of what we looked at. But the land was donated to us from Bristol, Tennessee at no charge. So I want to thank Bristol for that. It's going to be a big help for us. And, of course, we're going to have to build a couple more in Kingsport to handle that area also. Last thing I want to touch on, school building progress. I'll just be honest with you, it's been a disaster for us. And I want to touch base on this again. I want you guys to get started now. We need to keep Bluff City Elementary in Bluff City. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. Let's not let them take Bluff City Elementary out of Bluff City. It would devastate this town, and it would devastate people in this area. We don't want that to happen. About 2 or 3 months ago, we passed a resolution to work with the school department on a project on a sewer line. School Board Chairman Hughes had okayed a deal with Mattern and Craig engineers of running 15,000 feet of 4-inch force main sewer line. And that 4-inch force main sewer line was going to handle the middle school, 6 businesses, and about 70 homes. Well, when we seen that they was going to spend $1,025,000, to make sense, when you go through this type of construction work and you're putting a 4-inch line in the ground, it don't cost that much more to put a 6-inch line in. So we went back and we done some discussions, and we told the school department if they would, that we would put up $588,000 to run a 6-inch line, 15,000 feet. And what we were going to do is go up to the Survey Mart in that area and run an 8-inch gravity line back down the Weaver Pike to tie into the pump station at the middle school. And what this gravity line would do, it would have the Survey if they chose to be on it, the dollar store if they chose to be on it, and we were going to hook East High School up to this gravity line at no charge. It wasn't going to cost the school department a penny. And we voted on it, and it passed unanimous, and we thought everything was a go. And about 3 weeks ago, they started putting 4-inch line in, 4-inch force main line. And we had some discussions, and Chairman Hughes said that he wasn't aware that it was a 6-inch line, and that the county commission had no authority over the school department. So now they're running a 4-inch line up the Weaver Pike, 15,000 feet. That's going to be a pressurized 4-inch line. So we as county commissioners, we were going to put $588,000 with that. And let me repeat myself. We did not take 1 penny from the school department. Not 1 penny. We were adding $588,000 to their $1,025,000 to make this project happen. Plus, we were hooking up East High School at no charge. It was going to be great for the whole area. It was going to open that up. probably about 200 homes, all the businesses, and Bristol was working with us and did work with us on this project, and it was all good. So we just wanted to let you guys know that they're moving forward with that project, and any business that hooks on to that line now has to have a pump station to pump into the line. And in 2020, Sullivan East High School has to come off of the sewer system that they've got, the contained system that they've got. So that's going to add probably $200,000 to $300,000 that should have been spent on teachers and kids that school department and taxpayers are going to have to pay for when we were going to do that. So we just wanted to let you guys know the situation of what happened there, and we hate it, but we tried, and it just didn't work out. But
What about the fire hydrants?
this is a sewer line, force main line sewer.
Is the water line 6-inch?
They run a new line in from Old Weaver Pike and upgraded it to I believe it was an 8-inch line is what they upgraded it to.
Oh,
Tied in to the middle school. It's there. But they had to come in from Old Weaver Pike to do that. Okay. And when I got to the job site that morning and seen them running the line, they had already put in about 200 foot of line with no gravel. So they had to dig it back up and put gravel in. And then they were laying the sewer line on top of Weaver Pike Utilities' main water line. You have to be 10 foot to the right or 10 foot to the left, or your sewer line has to be on the bottom and your water line on top before you can do that. So they had to take that 260 or 80 feet up, and then they switched to the other side of the road. So now they're continuing up Weaver Pike. And the reason I want to make you aware of this too, if anything happens to that lift station for that middle school or that area, it's going to come right down that ravine and into the Holston River, and our water intake is about half mile down below it. So that's the reason why we was kind of working hard to make this 6-inch line happen and make some improvements. But again, please get started on keeping your elementary school here. If there's anything we can do, Commissioner King and myself both are committed to keeping that elementary school here in town and keeping Mary Hughes in Piney Flats. They was supposed to be in some renovation money in this last school deal, but it never was spent. East High School was supposed to have about $9 million spent on it. It didn't happen. Mary Hughes was supposed to have about $8 or so spent on it, and it didn't happen.
Let them run down.
But the school department got about $3 million more this year than they got last year. And I would encourage them greatly to give the teachers a raise and start spending the money on our classrooms. Our teachers make about $10,000 to $11,000 less than city teachers. And I think it's time that we get them up to that scale and get them the tools and the technology that they need in their classrooms to move these children forward. So appreciate you guys, and thank you for having me. If there's anything I can do, anything I can help with Bluff City, please give me a call.
We need all the help that we can get to be able to keep that school, because we're running out of space here, and we could use it
The middle school.
in many ways.
Well, I would focus greatly on keeping my elementary school here and work really hard on that. I would get in touch with school board members, and I would explain to them how devastating it would be. I think you guys are going to lose about $12,000 a year off the middle school, or maybe a little more, 12 to 18. Would that be about right? 16,000. What's the elementary running a year? Probably about the same as far as water and sewer. So if we lost, if we're going to lose 16,000 off the middle school and 16 off the elementary, that's going to be something to recover from. So, like I said, call your school board members, tell them that, ask them the question, what's the next phase? I do know that they've got a place for an elementary school up there, and from what I understand, they could already have the pad made to do it. Yeah. So We just don't want that to happen.
But do you think it would help if maybe the parents would get active?
I think that would help tremendously, yes.
That's what Blumfield did with the middle school. They went to the school board meeting. All
Yes.
the parents did, and students and faculty and everything did.
I would attend you to start attending every school board meeting that you can. And start
Sure.
right now, voicing your opinion. Because who would have thought, back 4 or 5 years ago, we were trying to explain to people what was going to happen with our middle school up here and what was going to happen in Piney Flats. And people kept on saying, they're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Well, it did. And it's not good for us. But you got my phone number, and like I said, if there's anything I can do, let us know. Please attend our meetings. I think it's important for all of us to get involved. I want to apologize to you for the 2-cent tax increase that was placed on you about a month ago. We fought really hard to keep that from happening. I done an amendment on the resolution that Mr. Vance had to fund the school resource officers and do 10 jail employees and a 2% raise across the board for the county employees with no tax increase. And it passed 15-8. And Commissioner Vance from Bristol and Commissioner Locke from Kingsport, we went into recess and they had a meeting with our mayor, and they come back out and they raised our taxes 2 cents. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I took, and this is something I'll tell you this, and then I'm done, I promise. They had $297,000 in this resolution. And what it was to fund Kingsport and Bristol fire departments with money. Bristol was going to get about $150,000. Kingsport was going to get the rest. The county sent word to all of our volunteer fire departments not to come and ask for money this year because there were no money to give, no extra money. Well, when they put that $297,000 in there to give Bristol and Kingsport this extra money, I didn't think it was fair to our volunteer fire departments that, number one, volunteer their time, number two, they don't get paid for anything that they do, and they put themselves in harm's way every time they go in and get on a truck. Bristol pays their fire departments. Kingsport pays their fire departments. Kingsport's budget is $11 million. Bristol's is $6 million. Our county fire departments get about $115,000, some of them a little more a year. So in that amendment, I kind of snuck that $297,000 in there to get voted down on that 15-8. So the $297,000 was took out of that. I didn't think it was fair that the volunteer fire departments didn't get anything. So now they're trying to put that back in there. And I want you guys to start calling other commissioners and express your opinion that if our volunteer fire departments are not going to get anything, it's not fair for Bristol and Kingsport to get this. And like I said, I tried to get them to divide it up among all the departments so some would get an equal amount, and they didn't want no part of that. So it got took out with the amendment that we got put in, but they're trying to get put back in there. So, our volunteer fire departments, like I said, they're going to keep on till I'm afraid that we're going to have a harder time getting volunteers to even do this type of stuff.
We do now. I'm a fireman. We do now.
Yeah, and I mean, how many members have you got up here at your department?
Active, probably 12.
At one time, how many did you have? Probably
50-something.
Yeah. And see now,
Yeah.
your younger kids is not wanting to get involved in this, and we, like I said, I just don't think it's fair.
I appreciate you working on that.
It's just not right.
With the fire department.
But Bristol charges for calls. Kingsport does basically the same thing. And like I said, our volunteer people help them. If they have a problem and we're close by, we always respond and help.
We put gas in with a brush truck the other day, $85,
And you have to buy your tires every...
Yeah. You said tires on a pickup.
Yeah. But I want you to know that I'm going to vote against that again this coming month if it comes up, and we'll fight to. But that's one thing we need you guys. If that comes up, I'll let you know, and we need you to come and speak your mind.
We've got a business meeting next Tuesday, so I'll bring it up. But anyway, is the county not going to give the fire department anything?
Same amount. Same amount of money. And see, that's what upset me and some of the other rural commissioners. They told that they would fund the fire departments the same amount as last year and the year before. Okay? Said, we don't have the extra money to give this year. Well, then next thing I know, they're trying to put in $297,000 to fund Bristol and Kingsport and give our volunteers nothing.
Well, we're getting ready. One of our trucks is outdated. And, of course, it don't have many miles on, but it's outdated. And we're looking at one right now, $380,000.
I think Bluff City's getting a new truck.
Furnish it.
I think Bluff City's getting a new truck on the rotation this year.
Yeah, we are.
So, but I appreciate you. Your volunteers. That's above and beyond. But that's kind of where we're at. And like I said, thank y'all. If we can do anything, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What do you plan on doing with the middle school property?
That'd be up to the school board. See, the school board owns the building and they own the property.
Can private company like a private school?
What they'll do is when they decide what they want to do with it, either put it in for bid and sell it or lease it to someone. That's kind of, and see, that's what gets me. The county taxpayers pay for that building. The county taxpayers own it, but yet the school board will sell it, and they do whatever they want to with the money.
So could you sit there in 10 years and buy it?
Possibility. Tell you what, that would be a heck of a place for a kind of a technical college to learn these kids how to operate equipment and do a trade.
Maybe larger elementary school or something. My son was already forced out of the elementary school up here this year. We lived like 300 feet from the school, and now we have to take him there.
We should wait until we get down to the next citizens' comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any old business? New business?
I've got one thing, Mayor.
Okay.
We talked about this stoplight that's going to put in, probably be June before they put it in.
Yes.
Up here at 19, the new lights up there, they've got, if you come up 19, you got a left-hand turn light to come into Rush City. And what kind of problem would be maybe to get a left-hand turn light to turn on 19? Turn left on 19, because sometimes you've got to go up and set 2 or 3 lights through before you even get across there.
You're talking about with Highway 44 and that side of it? 44's
44 and 19, yeah.
Through, right.
You go up there and make a left-hand turn, sometimes you set through that light 2 or 3 times when you get to turn.
Okay, I can check on that.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else? Okay. Okay, we're down then to citizens' comments. If you have any comments, come to the podium. Give your name, address, and phone number. If there's no comments, do you have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Take a vote, please.
Alderman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Roll,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Waters, Alderman Butler.
Yes.